Hey guys, welcome to my channel. So happy to have you here today. And today I want to talk about what I think is probably one of the best superfoods you can ever consume, and that's liver. And we've been told for years that leafy green vegetables and berries, that's the most nutrient dense food on the planet. I would argue that that is actually not true. The most nutrient dense food on the planet is organ meats, and liver would be one of those organ meats. So I want to talk a little bit about liver, and I want to do a little bit of a taste test. I want to taste test the liver crisp as an alternative to regular liver for those who need to consume it a different way. Let's talk a little bit about the various nutrients that are helpful that you get from the liver. And one would be vitamin B12. Vitamin B12 is important because it helps our red blood cells function, those oxygen carrying cells throughout our body. So that's really important for obvious reasons. Vitamin A is also one of the vitamins that's important and in the liver. And I think that's important because it's an anti-inflammatory. It reduces oxidative stress, and it's really important for keeping us healthy. One that's we kind of know about the liver is iron. And I want to point this out in particular because we've been told, think about Popeye the Sailor Man, right? And he always told us to eat our spinach, and we need that for iron. Well, truth be told, that is a source of iron, but you may only absorb maybe about 2% of that. And that's not a lot compared to animal products where you're looking at about up to 35% bioavailability or the ability to absorb it. So that's really important. So if you're going to get your iron, you're probably better to go to animal products, and the best source is organ meats, and liver would be one. Another vitamin is B6, biotin, and folate. Now, when we think about folate, we think about our pregnant, moms, and they need folate to reduce their risk for neural tube defects. So that's something that's really critical. And also detoxification. How ironic, right? So the liver makes a lot of these B vitamins, and those same B vitamins helps us to detoxify our body. Ironically, we eat the organ that detoxifies to help us detoxify our own liver. How ironic is that? So I think that's kind of cool. So if you want to detoxify, liver is the way to go. One of my favorites is CoQ10. Now, I learned a lot about that when I took a course about the mitochondria, and I learned that the CoQ10 was helpful in the function of the mitochondria, but I also learned that it also helps to improve our vascular function, which then means our blood pressure is better and our cardiovascular health is better. So our risk for cardiovascular disease, heart attack, stroke, and things like that will be reduced. Now, we get our vitamin D from the sun, but we also get it from the liver. And so liver is a great source for vitamin D. And as you know, the vitamin D helps to increase the calcium absorption. Well, guess what? You need a vitamin K2 to help kind of usher the calcium from our joints and from our blood vessels into where they should be in our bones. And guess what? The liver has vitamin K2. So I think that's really cool as well. So they all work together. Copper is another. And of course, it is an animal product, so it has protein. And yes, it's a great source of protein. And what's important, going back to the whole comparison between animals and vegetables, the DIAS score, that's DIAAS, that DIAS score is going to be higher, meaning the absorbability, the bioavailability to get amino acids from foods into your body is going to be higher when you actually get it from an animal source as opposed to a plant source. So that's really important to remember. And so that's the general what's good about the liver. And the next thing I wanted to touch on is, it's hard to consume liver for some people, which is why I'm making this video. And full disclosure, I do like liver. I love my mom's liver. She makes it, with onions, and she sautés them, and I love them, whether it's beef or chicken liver. But there are ways to get liver into your body without having to eat my mom's, onion/liver dish. And one way is to mix it in with your ground beef. So they do sell, you can get ground liver or ground it yourself. You can actually ground maybe 1/4 of the liver ground with maybe 3/4 of the chuck ground. In other words, as much as you can tolerate. that's a great way to get it in. There's also liver pate, and liver pate is like a blended kind of liver where you kind of make it similarly like my mom, but instead of leaving it in that form, you kind of blend it together with some butter, onions, and then you make kind of a paste, and then you have to find a low carb or keto something to put it on. And I think that's a great way to go. Some people just go to the health food store and they buy liver supplements because that's a great way to do it as well. And finally, you can actually do it via liver crisp. So I really appreciate that. So let's go ahead and try that out. So here it is, Aurelius's liver crisp. I have never tried this before. It's a beautiful product. I'm going to tell you why. So when I flip it over to the opposite side, you look for the ingredients, right? And if you look at the ingredients, if I can put that close, there's not much there besides grass-fed liver, salt, and that's pretty much it. So I love that. And so let's go ahead and open this up. This will be my first time trying this. And I'm really just trying to find for myself and for you, snacks that we can snack on. So it looks like a chip, right? And it's very thin. And let's give it a try. Okay. Not bad. It got a little smoky taste to it. And it's really pretty good. I think I like that crispiness. I've always enjoyed crispy snacks, so I think you'll love that part about it. I love the flavor. You can actually taste kind of a liver taste, but it's not the way you taste liver, the way you think of it. So I think it's smooth, it's crispy, and it's smoky and crunchy. So I'll be honest with you. I think if you're trying to ease into liver, I think that this is an easy way to do it. Obviously, you have to, it's dry, so you have to maybe drink some water, which I'll do after this video. But this is pretty good. So I guess I'm going to have to commend Aurelius for making a pretty good snack. And I think, the real question is, who is this for? And I think it's for anybody who wants to get the benefits of liver, all those things I talked about without necessarily consuming liver in a traditional fashion. I think it's for anybody who is really interested in slowing the aging process. And if you put the right fuel in your body and give your body the right tools to be successful, you're probably going to slow the aging process. So I think that's another group of people it's for. And then I think if you want to, not just live longer, but live well. And just like a nice sports car, if you put the right fuel in it, it'll run well today, not just tomorrow. So if you want to make sure your sports car is running well, I think that having snacks like this is important. And lastly, I'm really big on not putting toxins in my body. So if you want to have the right kind of healthy body, you can't keep putting toxins. What's a toxin? High fructose corn syrup, which is in a lot of other snacks. That's a toxin. Seed oils, those are toxins. They cause inflammation. So think about all of those snacks that we normally consume and how toxic they are to our bodies. So I really thought it would be helpful to taste test this food item just to give you something to think about. I'll put a link in the video just so you can check out this particular product or any other product that's like this. I think that this is a good one. I do trust the product. It seems like it's got the right stuff in it. So I really appreciate you guys just pausing for a moment, thinking about your health, thinking about what you need to do to be healthy, and maybe trying something you hadn't really thought about. So if you get a chance to try liver crisp, definitely put some comments in there about what your experience was like. Did it surprise you? Were you impressed, etc.? And I think that'll help other people who are on their health related journey. So with that, guys, I appreciate you and thank you for being here, and only ask that you be safe, be well, and continue to protect your nest.